Hare Krishna, welcome to Morning Amrut Vani program. His Grace Rupavilas Prabhuji will be giving his transcendental words of wisdom. His Grace Ramkripa Prabhuji will be reading the Namamrita, followed by Srila Prabhupada quote, followed by Srila Prabhupada Leela Amrita. Thereafter, Her Grace Sadhu Sevani Mataji will be reciting the slokas of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Welcome to everyone once again. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। ही डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ही होलिनेस गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। ही होलिनेस भक्ति आश्रय वैष्णव स्वामी महाराज की जय। ही ग्रेस शिक्षा गुरु रूपविलास प्रभु की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री नामामृत, the nectar of the holy name. Chanting the holy name initiates the flow of waves of love for Krishna, Lord Chaitanya to Swarupa Damodara and Ramananda Raya. Simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord Krishna, one can be freed from all undesirable habits. This is the means of awakening all good fortune and initiating the flow of waves of love for Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 20.11. Srila Prabhupada quote, 17 September. Now there are third class, fourth class men dressed like president and king, but their business is to plunder money from the citizens and kill cow. This is Kali Yuga's king, dressed like king but Shudra, very expert in cow killing. On September 17, 1965. Srila Prabhupada Leela but he liked boldness in his disciples. Abhay heard of an occasion when one of Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati's disciples had been very outspoken at a public meeting and dena- had denounced a highly regarded Mayavadi monk as a foolish priest. The remark had caused a disruption at the meeting, and some of the disciples reported the incident to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, thinking he would be displeased and his disciple had caused a disturbance. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was pleased and remarked, "He has done well." His displeasure occurred rather when he heard the someone's compromise. Srila Prabhupada, when my Guru Maharaj was present, even big scholars were afraid to talk with even his beginning students. My Guru Maharaj was called living encyclopedia. He could talk with anyone on any subject. He was so learned and no compromise. So-called saints, avatars, yogis, everyone who was false was an enemy to my Guru Maharaja. He never compromised. Some God brothers complained that this preaching was a chopping technique and it would not be successful. But those who criticized him fell down. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam. Bhagavad Gita 12.10. Abhyase api asamartho asi matkarma paramo bhava madartham api karmani kurvam siddham avapsyasi. Translation: If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.12.16. Atmastri aptya surudo balam riddha kosham antapuram parivihara bhuvascha ramya bhumandalam jaladi mekhalam akalaya kalopasrishtam iti sa prayayo vishilam. Translation. Thus Dhruv Maharaj at the end left his kingdom, which extended all over the earth and was bounded by the great oceans. He considered his body, his wives, his children, his friends, his army, his rich treasury, his very comfortable palaces, and his many enjoyable pleasure grounds to be creations of the illusory energy. Thus, in due course of time, he retired to the forest in the Himalayas known as Badrika Ashram. Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrit Madhya Leela 4.192. Ghasita ghasita yache malaya jatsara gandha baditaicha aish lokera vichara. Translation. Continuous rubbing increases the aroma of Malaya sandalwood. Similarly, consideration of this verse increases one's understanding of its importance. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radharas Bihari Bhagavan ki Jai. ललिता सखी विशाखा माता की जय. गिरिराज गोवर्धन महाराज की जय. सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय. गौरांग निताय महाप्रभु की जय. शील प्रभुपाद की जय. मॉर्निंग प्रो चैंटिंग प्रोग्राम की जय. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Ekadashi festival ki jai. When Prabhupada says this quote, that when one chants the holy name of the Lord, one can be freed from all undesirable habits. Is this statement untrue or true? We have seen this thing in the past, we are seeing in present, and we are definitely sure it will work in future. In past, we have seen how Haridasi associated with Haridas Thakur in the prostitution thing, and she became Haridasi. We have seen Valmiki. We have seen the uh, um, incidents in our life of Srila Prabhupada, where all druggists were changed with the power of the holy name, and they were able to easily leave the undesirable habit. There are so many people who give motivation lectures, so many people who try to say you should not do this, you should not do this. But their saying doesn't work on the people's habit. They are not able to give their habit, the swabhava. It is only when one sincerely chants the holy name, his heart changes and he is able to give up the lower desires for higher desires. When one sincerely chants, his heart starts cleaning, cheto darpan marjanam. And the love which is already there in his heart, it is not something artificial he has to do. It automatically manifests within himself when he chants the holy name. And that's why he's able to give up the undesirable habits which he has. In Bhagavad Gita, there is one shlok which says, Param drishtva nivartate. When you have the higher taste, you get the higher taste, you are able to leave the lower taste. Otherwise, it's very difficult to leave the lower taste. Srila Prabhupada quotes, now there are third class people, fourth class people dressed like president and king, but their business is to plunder the money of the people and kill cow. This is Kali Yuga. So, perfectly it is predicted in the Bhagavatam. In Bhagavatam, it is clearly stated What are the people? The people, the so-called people, they are not the kings actually. They are dressed like the king, like the Kali Yuga came very beautifully in front of Parikshit Maharaj. But what did he do? He was trying to cut the dharma leg, cow's leg, and he was able to kill three-fourth dharma. Only Satya remained. Tapa, Daya, and Dan. These three legs were completely destroyed by Kali Yuga, who had came in a dress of a king. Hmm? So it represents that in today's Yuga, all the kings may be like dressed like king, but actually they are meant to take all the money of all the people and loot them. Srila Prabhupada Leela Amrita. Here, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj qualities are spoken by Srila Prabhupada. How bold he was. And he never compromised in the scriptures. And he was very happy if his students were also bold and they do not compromise. In one of the incidents where Mayavadis were speaking, his student went and countered them. And it created a disturbance in that ceremony, in that program. And they felt that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj will be unhappy. And when the message went to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj that because of his disciple, the program was disturbed because he was not compromising on the Mayavadi philosophy. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was happy. On the other side, when he heard that his disciple had compromised, he felt very bad because Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was called as a lion. He was a like lion. And he would used to roar the Shastras. And nobody would dare to actually debate with Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj because he was a living encyclopedia on the Shastra. At the age of 7, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj had did the Kanthastha of Bhagavad Gita, entire Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavatam, and he was the editor to Sanjitoshani with his father. He was working with the father. So all these qualities of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, Gurudev of Srila Bhakti, Srila Prabhupada, here Prabhupada is mentioning about all the qualities of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, how great he was. Hmm? You know, and one another thing about Leela Amrita is that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, many disciples used to criticize him because his technique was called chopping technique. Whoever come, you should cut his philosophy. So they felt that this thing will not work long, but ultimately they fall down and they had to leave the movement. And this we see in, we see the quality in Srila Prabhupada also. When he went to US, he didn't compromise anything. Huh? They told that you should establish a movement, not Krishna consciousness. You should establish the name of this ISKCON as God consciousness. So all the people will come. You know, Srila Prabhupada told that Krishna is God. God is Krishna. We cannot compromise on that. Hmm? That's why this international society will be for Krishna consciousness movement. It's not for God consciousness because God is Krishna. There were many things. People used to say to Srila Prabhupada that you should wear pant and shirt and preach over here. You should wear coat. You should wear drinking. You should little drink over here because it is very cold as per time, place, and circumstances. But you know, Srila Prabhupada says that I have came over here to give something, not to take something from you. So the same quality of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was seen in Srila Prabhupada. He preached as it is and never compromised. अभ्यासेन तो ये अप्य सपर्तो असि मत कर्मो परमो भव Madartham karma kurvani kurvam siddhi vapsite. If you are not able to do Abhyas Yoga, then simply start working for me. Do whatever activity you are doing to satisfy me. That is the second way of life, where Lord is suggesting to engage the mind and intelligence in me. As far as Srimad Bhagavatam is concerned, here Dhruv Maharaj opulence is described. How great opulence he had, how much control he had on this world, and how much he had everything perfectly. But then also he left everything. He left, and that is what is the greatness. We have seen this in all acharyas, whether you see Jiva Goswami, whether you see Sanatan Goswami, they were ministers. Whether you say Raghunath Das Goswami, he was the only son who had 1 lakh or 2 lakh gold coin that time earning. And he had left everything for the sake of the preaching. Very nice example is given. The more you rub the chandan, the more the sugandha or will come from the chandana. So similarly, more we speak about Madhvendra Puri or the words of the Madhvendra Puri, the nectar of the devotion will always be coming out of it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.